What's going on, everyone? This is the first ever podcast of Death Before Dishonor presents BadGamingDotCom. I am your host, Jimmy Knott, also known as Jimmy. Well, spoilers there, that's actually my name. And I am followed by my co host, Death Frenzy, also known as John.
Heyo.
All right, guys. So we're gonna do a little topics today. Obviously, we're in the intro right now, as you can see with my fancy little header right here that says intro. If I can figure out what my hand is, but pretty much we're just gonna talk about like some games that we like a lot. It's one of these ways. I'm not sure. It's confusing. Some games that we like, some people that we like, just kind of just introduce ourselves as well as our community, which is badgaming.com. If any of y'all have already seen anything that we have done, then clearly you know that this is 100% accurate. We are hilariously bad at gaming, but you know that's half the fun of it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, we
exactly.
fucking suck.
Yeah, we're great. We're amazingly bad. It's amazing how bad we are. And yes, there are stats in this game,
This is a game.
and there's stats in it. So I guess we could just go ahead and get with the intro a little bit. Obviously, I'm Jimmy Knott, Death Frenzy. Mainly what I do is I suck at games. We all suck at games, but I focus more on kind of like the tech, like the turn-based strategy kind of video games, and more of like the tech savvy stuff.
I don't know which way my hand. Never mind.
Where am I going?
Keep going.
Where am I? BadGaming.com. So, I'm the tech kind of savvy person a little bit. I know we have gentlemen. You'll obviously see him a lot more. Cryptic 989. He is very tech savvy as well as Bullpunk is. We're all kind of like mix and match stuff around. This overlay is actually brought to you by Cryptic 989. So shout out to him. He's amazing with overlays. Um, so what you're seeing on our stream right now is, of course, me. Look, Jimmy, not and then you'll see Death Frenzy right over here to my left, and then you'll have below us is one of our VOD streams from our one of our VODs from our streams. He
Right.
recently played God of War. I recently played a less fantastic game, but still hilarious. Dominia, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, it is what it is. I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of my friends died and came back like 6 or 7 times, but I'm bad at being a gladiator person.
Oh God.
Yeah. You're actually the only one who lived, but you ended up running away because everyone else died continually.
It's just like the Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah, that's so sad. But we're actually going to get into our first topic today, which is going to be, if I can figure out how to move this. Just kidding. It's going to be top games. BadGaming.com, by the way. We're going to do top games for our opinion. Personally, this is kind of like obviously 100% personal for both of us. We're not
Right.
saying like, oh, this game's the best, and if you think this is not that, then you're wrong. My personal like top three games or top games that I can think of right now is Final Fantasy Tactics. Obviously turn-based strategy, like it's my childhood. It's definitely in my top five favorite games of all time. Kingdom Hearts 1 because I actually speedrun that game and it's a lot of fun. I have a 4 hour personal best, which is terrible at that game, but it is what it is. And of course, I have Digimon World because that game was different in its time frame, where everyone was like, "Oh, you got to level up, get experience, travel here, this and the other." And this one, it's like you kind of do that, but then your thing dies. You got to start from scratch. So it's like you're kind of like juggling, taking care of like a digital monster and trying to fight monsters. So it's kind of like revolutionary at the time.
Digimon made your list.
Are you hating on me right now?
I'm not. I just didn't expect it. I don't know why. I should have. Um, no,
You know what? I completely no. Go ahead.
I absolutely hate lists like this because, especially just like an entire lifetime of
Right.
playing just amazing games and some really shitty ones. You know who you fucking are.
You know.
But I mean, the two right off the bat are automatically taken for me, and they're modern. You know, I might lose some retro gaming cred here because The Witcher 3 and The Last of Us, I think, are two of the most like affecting and just amazing experiences available to anyone right now.
Right.
And I mean, for widely different reasons, of course, although they do still both have that sort of paternal child relationship going on with well, and that's a universal thing.
Right.
But that's just the story, and that's just one story in The Witcher, and it's not even. I mean, it's the main one. It's not the best one. There, that game is sprawling. With just it's one of the few open world games that is worth being in an open world. So few of them actually are. That's a game that has content around every corner, and each little side story is better than the last.
Absolutely.
Everything you do affects and changes everything. It always gives me hell when someone's like, "What's your favorite game?"
What is it? I must
Because
know.
Until The Witcher 3 came out, it was The Last of Us. Which that game is just one solid gut punch throughout.
Also amazing game.
And a lot of that carries over into some other things Sony have released more recently, including this week, actually, with God of War. Don't think that was intentional, but you could feel the influence.
Yeah.
As for a third one, man, take your pick. There's so many. You've got some more obscure shit like Fire Emblem, Awakening, especially, which Fire Emblem fans are going to call blasphemy on me for this.
What are you talking about?
That's the one where they introduced marriage. Well, yeah, but it was fucking cool.
It was pretty neat.
And you can break it. You can break it so well. And you have to work for it. It's not like it's like, oh, there's a glitch. No. You have to work your ass off, but then you get it where everybody's just like a god, and the fights are all jokes. And I love that shit.
Breaking games.
One of the games, if I had to put one in there, would be an MMO of all things. I'm not huge on MMOs. I've just played a ton of them.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 14. Incidentally, one of my favorite Final Fantasy games ever, if not my favorite Final Fantasy game, which is an odd choice. I would concede that.
Well, I mean, you told me the story was amazing.
The story's great, particularly once you get past the original, not the original. 1.0 sucked balls. But once they literally destroyed.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, once they literally destroyed the fucking world and brought back With a Realm Reborn, which is all included in the story. Amazing choice by Square Enix there. And it picks up, and you get past the Realm Reborn story, and things start really smoothing out. You go into the Heavensward expansion. Stormblood, you kind of forget you're in an MMO in Stormblood. It's such a great fucking game. I actually can't wait to hop back on at some point.
Right.
I've been putting it off. I've resubbed and everything, and I'm ready to go.
You got to finish God of War first.
I have to finish God of War. I've got 7 hours or so into the game. All of it's streamed. So it's only 2 streams. Things have come up.
Which is going on below him right now.
Actually, playing below me right now. And that's how I forgot which way was down for a second.
What? Left, right, up, down. What is going on?
Left is right. White is black.
I'm so confused.
No, that's a fantastic game too. So we'll get more into that at another point. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure between me and Jimmy, I guarantee you there's going to be a fucking MMO episode.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, there's no way that's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm gonna. Final Fantasy 14 has definitely got to be on that list.
Absolutely. Like it's I have not played it nearly as much as you, but so far in the story I'm not even like max level for like the beginning game, much less the DLC and like not even DLC expansions, I do apologize, of like that game progressing through it and getting better. I'm still like in the nitty-gritty like vanilla story, and it's still really good. Like I just got Sid and like is that whole amnesia thing, but we'll get into that later. But I guess like the topic we can go ahead and start off of is y'all can see I'm excited about it. I don't have it yet. I know y'all blasphemy. You can hate me if you want. I'm getting it on payday. I promise. But it's going to be. It's as soon as I click on this correctly, BadGamingDotCom. It's going to be God of War. There we go.
Shit, we were going straight into it. I would have fucking segued that one last.
Okay. Well, we're just kicking this door down, bud. So, God of War, once again, I have not played it, but I have watched about 6 hours of John's stream on this topic, and it is like from the graphics to the the gameplay to the way you maneuver around the world to just how you interact with his like Kratos' son. Spoilers, has a son. There's baby spoilers, excuse me, for this game in this podcast. So if you don't want to know anything on it, you might need to leave. But like, it looks amazing. It plays amazing.
Clarify, I haven't finished the game, so any spoilers are going to be minor. They're
Exactly.
not going to affect your enjoyment of the story. But no, it is one of the better games to come out in recent memory. It's like I said earlier, it borrows a lot of cues from The Last of Us. It's got that great like father-son relationship going on. He's cold and distant, but you know he actually does care. You can tell he cares. He's not going to let anything happen to this boy.
Right.
But he gives just like horrible parental advice. Like there's a scene where Atreus kills a human being. Like he falls on him, gets his dagger up, and he right across the neck. And he's in shock. Kratos looks up to him. None of this. It's okay, son. Just puts his hand on his face and says, "Close your heart to it." Like, oh shit.
Oh man, that's so dark.
But it's necessary for the journey they're making. He has to be that cold.
Absolutely.
It's of course then they turn into monsters and you fight them again because Draugr. But
because video game.
But it's great. It's an amazing transplant of Kratos. You've got the new Greek god of war. Killed the pantheon of gods. What happened? Nobody knows. Ends up in Midgard. So he's been a transplant from Greek mythology to another set of mythology. Everybody knows this. I'm just setting this up for you because the interactions you have with other characters, be they Vanir, Aesir, I'm saying those incorrectly, but
forgive him, please.
The various Norse pantheons. They know who Kratos is. They can just tell. They know he's a god. Early on in the game, you'll see some footage on the stream right now of a troll battle. There are a few of those. It's the last trolls left in Midgard, and those fights are pretty intense. But early on in the game, you get a stranger approaches you, and he knows who you are, starts some shit, and you get into a fist battle with a god. And it's two gods just duking it the fuck out. This is one of the most intense moments in an early part of a game I think I've ever played. Next to maybe, of course, The Last of Us, which did something
right
that ended in heartbreak.
I still have a tear from that.
The entire combat system has been retooled. This is not God of War in
hack and slash mortality.
Well, it's God, I almost want to stop it there. It's not God of War,
Wow,
it's
bold.
But it is at the same time. I mean, the music's there. It's the Kratos is there, which is the most important part. Gone are the blades of chaos or chains, the swinging shit around.
Right.
You've got the Leviathan axe, which never gets old. You throw that shit anywhere, call it right back. It doesn't matter where it goes. Press your button. He'll just stick his hand out like a fucking superhero. It comes flying back.
Mjolnir.
No, the art in the game is fucking breathtaking. Like, I mean, anybody who can see the footage right now, the game was actually optimized to run at 1080p on a PlayStation 4 Pro. So push that thing for as much detail as you can. That doesn't mean it doesn't look great across all three settings. 4K, of course, apparently looks fantastic. I don't have a 4K TV. But even on a regular PS4, it looks great. They all run at 30 frames a second, which is honestly expected.
Good
for a
lord,
game like
that
this.
execution.
Right, we're smash his fucking head. They all run at about 30 frames per second, but it doesn't feel sluggish or laggy. They're apparently at 4K. There's reportedly some like tiny frame drops, but they've been patching the game regularly. I think every day since it's come out, so that's probably gone now. But no. There's the scale of this game is astounding. You're not looking at like an 8 to 10 hour God of War experience here. You're looking at like I think 35 hours or something to finish the story, and you can keep playing afterwards because it's pretty open.
Right.
When the world serpent shows up, if your jaw doesn't drop, you shouldn't be playing the game. You're clearly blind, or you have no sense of wonder, because that shit was fantastic. I almost fell out of my chair. I was giddy as a fucking schoolgirl.
You're like, oh
They
my
got
god.
they got the size and scale of Jormungandr correct, like exactly what you expect from it. No, it's amazing. I don't want to ruin anything for it because the game is current.
Right.
If you have a PlayStation and you're not playing it, you are doing that wrong.
you
That
own a PlayStation incorrectly if you do not have this
Yes,
game.
you own a PlayStation incorrectly if you don't have God of War. That is
100%.
that is the. I will die on that fucking hill. It is fantastic. The Last of Us is another one, of course, and it's literally the relationship and the journey that you're making together that really feels the same, including the interaction with the world around you. Atreus will basically act as your own personal little Ellie, where you get in trouble and she would run up and stab someone in the back with her switchblade or something.
Right.
Whereas in this one, Atreus, you could actively have him like shoot them in the face with the arrows, or he'll come up behind him and strangle him, or he'll come up and once you get resurrection stones, he'll like do some runes on your chest and stab it. You come back to life with a little bit of health, that kind of thing. The characters, I haven't met a bad character yet. Every single one of them is interesting. The germaphobe dwarf's a little weird. I think they kind of overplayed that bit, but
like, I don't mean to interrupt, but like I wasn't able to watch that part at first.
Yeah.
But I know with whenever I watched it or listened to it, I was like, this doesn't sound like a dwarf. Why? Like, what is this? And like I went back to watch it, and I was like, this is weird. Like, why does a dwarf sound so proper? Like I'm used to like Tolkien's dwarves, like, oh, with an axe and a sword, and that's all how we're going to die.
Like Brock that we met earlier, the blue dwarf, who's it's dropping F-bombs left and right. I
don't fucking recall giving you a bloody good time now, did I? It's like, oh,
right,
okay,
stuff
let's
like
go.
That. I mean,
let's do it.
Best dwarf ever. I love the guy. But then you run into his brother, and it's just like it's funny at first. And then it gets old. But they're giving me side quests now to get new gear and shit. So, I mean, that's another thing. You have gear. There are stats in that game.
There's stats in so many games.
Right. But, I mean, that's where was that before? I mean, there's a leveling system now. I mean, you're leveling the gear. You're not leveling yourself. But it's fantastic. I can't recommend it highly enough. I haven't finished the game. Full disclosure, I'm far from the end. But everything about it is just amazing. I haven't had a bad experience in it yet. It's only been seven and a half hours so far. I don't foresee anything getting bad about it. It's just taking a little bit longer than I would like to level some of the gear, but that's because I'm kind of derping around looking for all the chests.
Well, I need this chest. You can't get there yet. I don't care.
That's something else it did. It does that progression lock thing that you'd see like a lot of Zelda games or Darksiders or
God of War became Zelda and Last of Us?
Pretty much. Because
Game of the Year? Question mark?
There will not be, and I guarantee this, there will not be a Game of the Year list out there at the end of the year that does not have this on there.
Absolutely.
But I don't think anybody expected that not to be the case. It's everything about this game. It's the brutality is in there. They've actually scaled back a lot of the gore. Mind you, that's because a lot of them are monsters that bleed fire and ice, so it's not going to be bloody.
It's canon.
Yeah, but it's oh my god, it's the brutality is just
amazing.
It is, it's spec'd for awesome. I love this game right now so far. I can't call it anything until I finished it yet, but the experience I've had with it so far has been one that's very worth every penny.
Wow.
Which is not something you get these days very often. Obviously, we'll touch on that at another point, but it's just, but you all know what I'm talking about is the other thing. I don't actually have to explain the way the industry has shifted, but. No, this is a full, worthwhile game that is worth every penny. I hope everyone with a PlayStation gets a chance to play it. I hope everyone without a PlayStation gets a chance to play it at a friend's house or something, because it's just one of those games that there need to be more of. There need to be more examples of how a game can turn out with the right resources and right attitude going into it. They took big risks changing God of War the way they did. It paid off in spades. The game's director, Corey Barlog, I believe he's the same one who directed God of War 2. He actually made a very emotional response video to seeing the scores for the first time. I think he deserves every bit of the feeling he's having right now, because it was just it turned out so well. It turned out so well. Big risks that pay off. That's something we need more of, and it's very shocking actually that you get to find this in a highly multi-million-dollar first-party franchise game. It's like, sure, let's go ahead and take a risk. Oh, the whole game is framed in one single camera shot too.
Oh, we almost forgot to mention that.
Right, that's probably the most striking thing about it. Even the cutscenes, the camera just pans forward, maybe follows another character, and then pans back to Kratos. So but you're not cutting to his face, cutting to some other character. You're constantly in the world, almost like you're walking right behind him and then walking around looking at other people interacting. It's cool shit. It's really cool shit. I'm gonna stop gushing about it right now because I won't stop.
So as a person who has not finished a single God of War video game, should I go back and play the first one before playing this one?
As a matter of principle, I would say play them at some point, but before, no. This game might even actually be better if you're not going in with any preconceptions of what God of War is.
But what about the story?
No, all you need to know is that Kratos is the God of War from Greece, from the Greek pantheon, which you know at this point. Right. Everybody does.
God of War.
It's a long franchise at this point. Yeah. You really don't even need to know that. It's just they're pointing out you're a god from a different pantheon. They'll tell you that in the game. So it's not necessary to have played any God of War previous to this one. They are good games, though.
Now, with that being said, don't mean to interrupt. Is it, how do I phrase this? Is it beneficial to play the games beforehand, and is the story the same, or is it a different standalone game?
You can play it as a standalone.
Okay, cool.
But that story did happen. I mean, that's why he's in Midgard now and not in the Greek.
So it's following the story because it's a continuation.
It is. But there's a reason it's not numbered. I mean, it's not God of War 4 because there were 3 other games.
We don't talk about those.
Yeah. Well, no, they were good.
Were they?
Except for the forced multiplayer, or not forced, but shoehorned multiplayer and Ascension. The games were pretty good. But the new God of War, this is a restart. It's a fresh start for the franchise. New players can come in, no problem whatsoever. They Guerrilla attempted something similar with Killzone Shadowfall. Didn't pay off, but no, it's a lot. You'll see a lot of that, people going into new generations of consoles. It's like we're going to make a game that still has enough callbacks to the series we're part of, but
right.
We'll go ahead and make it to where new people can come in. Devil May Cry 4 was intended to be that. I don't think that worked. I love Devil May Cry 4, but that's also because I love Devil May Cry.
The Devil May Cry is completely different. Like, you just get into that game early and you just keep on going.
Right.
Like, so they can make Devil May Cry 16 with this exact same corny ass jokes and stuff, and used to be like, this game's great.
Right. And I will be that person. Especially if there's any truth to the Devil May Cry 5 rumors.
Oh man, I didn't even know about that.
Oh yeah. Me and Cryptic, actually, another BadGamingDotCom, remember Cryptic 99. We were talking about it in our Discord. It was months ago. But I mean, I don't want to start any rumors because I wouldn't have started them anyway.
Rumor started, done.
But there's a good chance, supposedly, that we might see something after E3 this year for Devil May Cry 5, maybe TGS. I don't know. Right. I would be very surprised if we don't at this point with all the information out there, supposed information out there. It's Capcom, so I have some faith, especially since they're riding their Monster Hunter high right now.
Also a good game.
Oh, it's a fantastic game. And the PC release ain't too far out now. I want to say it's
man.
fall. Summer or fall. I'll have to look it up later. But it's I'm hoping the world just keeps on truck. And they recently introduced a 16-player raid like Elder Dragon fight, which we didn't get Frontier here in the U.S., which for those who don't know who are familiar with the Monster Hunter series, is the MMO. I made several seasons of it.
Right.
So I don't know how all this is going to turn out, but I'm really excited for the future of Monster Hunter. But anyway, hindsight, God of War is great.
God of War is amazing. I was about to wrap it up on God of War. We're about to go to the next topic.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for that input. I have not played it. I will play it as soon as I possibly can. But let me see. I think I figured this out now. So maybe I got promoted above slightly BadGaming.com, but we'll find out. And click. Oh, I'm amazing. So we're now going to things we're looking forward to. This, for future reference, can be anything. Literally, like, I am a sports fan of certain sports teams I will not mention for the hazing right now, but Dallas Cowboys. And we have, for right now, we're sticking to games because that's our strong suit right now. But it can be anything. I know the Avengers movie's coming out soon, so a lot of people are riding that hype, and everyone's like, "Oh, we gotta rewatch the movies." And I'm like, not all of them are that good. We can watch the ones we like.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like right now, what things I'm looking forward to? I think me and John are both really looking forward to this. Once again, I mentioned Final Fantasy Tactics being one of my favorite games because it's turn-based strategy. I do apologize for stuttering. XCOM 2, XCOM Enemies Unknown. Just Disgaea, like all those are fantastic games for me. And a game coming out, who doesn't like giant robots?
Right.
So it's like, imagine in a video game where you can do a turn-based strategy with giant robots that you can customize. It's like, oh, go on. And that game is actually BattleTech. Front Mission. I wish they had such good games until they didn't.
Right.
But BattleTech, it's a new game from them. It's actually from what John mentioned earlier to me off stream and off podcast, obviously. It was a board game, I believe, right?
Miniatures.
It was miniatures. I do apologize. So like Warhammer 40K, right?
Kind of. I mean, I haven't played it.
Right. Gotcha.
But yeah. I came across that, which kind of makes sense because of who's making it, Harebrained Schemes.
Right.
They're responsible for the resurgence of some of the CRPGs. Well, okay, that's not entirely accurate. CRPGs have been coming back, so they capitalized on that by bringing another like pen and paper type game to life with Shadowrun Returns.
Right.
And the spin-offs of that. So it makes sense for them to go from that to another, grid-based almost type role-playing experience, even though it's more of a tactics thing.
But it's still kind of like in their element.
Right, it's definitely in their element, and it's definitely in the overall wheelhouse. So
right.
That's why I'm excited for it, with knowing very little about the game. You know more about it than I do. I just know that it's coming out tomorrow, and that's what we're both doing.
Yeah, definitely. Playing the hell out of this game. So, okay, for those of you who don't know anything about BattleTech, what it is turn-based strategy, once again. I will be saying that a lot. What it is it's based off, there are two main forces fighting each other. Spoilers. One is pretty much the Empire. No, there's no Darth Vader, sadly. And the other one's the Rebels. And right off the bat, you're a mercenary group who gets paid to kill bitches. And you're good at it. So the Rebels come to you and they're like, hey, we have money, we need your help. And right off the bat, you can go, you know what, I'm going to help you or I'm not going to help you. And it's not the continual loop to where you eventually have to say yes. You can say no and you never talk to them again. And you watch them either fight and RNG God or RNG Jesus is just like, you know what, I'm going to let you win. And they win against the Empire or they get crumbled horribly into dust and just fell off the face of history. It doesn't matter because you can play the game however you want. And the best part I like about this is it's 100% tactical, like unlike Tactics, XCOM, Disgaea, where if you lost everyone, complete team wipe, game over, there's no game over in this game. It's just you're in debt now because you have to buy everything again.
The slogan was something like "meat is cheap, save the metal" or something like that.
Yeah,
it's something fucking cool like this, like hardcore as shit.
Exactly. Like literally it's the mercenaries are cheap. The mechs aren't. So literally it's the like meat is cheap, aka humans, like save the metal, the mechs. Like cuz it's a cost game more or less where it's like, all right, well you just lost all of your mercs. So here's a loan to get like your mercs back as well as like your freaking titans or your robots, whatever you want to call them. And it's just there's so much to it, and there's so many possibilities, and you can customize each individual mech. You can customize the legs, how much they weigh to make them faster for the scouts, the durability, the endurance, like the missiles, the different type of missiles, the guns, what kind of like bullets they fire, if they fire like lasers, like the charge time, like you sacrifice, like there's so many stats, and you're sacrificing stuff to add different things. And it's just there's so much to the game that you can get lost just creating your first mech because you're like, all right, like if you're not like, I just want to do power and slow. I'm a turtle that does 1,000,000 damage. Like obviously you can do that, but like a lot like if you just dive into the game, there's so many little schematics that you could look into, and it's just like, oh, we can do this, we can do that, we can do the other, and it's just there's so much customization that you don't find in games nowadays that I'm just overjoyed and just so happy to look into. And let's
Oh, it
just
looks fantastic too.
dude, it looks really good. I wish I had gameplay of it or something, but I have been saving myself like a virgin. Oh
Mm.
no, like I haven't looked up any videos because I don't want to be spoiled on anything because like I've looked up the definitions of what they're talking about and like photos. I haven't looked up any videos or any streams or anyone because I know some people have early access to it because they are like big
Right, the
popular streamers.
backers. They're backers too. I mean, it
Right.
was a crowdfunded game. Um, Something we can do. We might throw some streaming up tomorrow, but just simply because it's such a neat game that people need to hear about. I want more of these out there. The resurgence of these like tactical games is been. I say resurgence. They didn't really win anywhere, but
Yeah.
good ones didn't come out. You know, so we got XCOM Enemy Unknown, and then Enemy Within the expansion, and then we got XCOM 2 as a sequel. We got some other stuff that followed along these lines, some less mainstream stuff, and then this is
Right.
following in the vein of that with like a way deeper, just like core mechanic around it. Um, this is something you can play for a long time. Um, $40, probably worth it. Don't know yet.
Fingers crossed.
But
Oh man,
yeah,
this thing's at the
fingers
disappointment. I'm gonna lose my
crossed.
mind.
This game sucks.
I'm gonna go into hiding.
But you know there is PvP multiplayer. There's a skirmish mode, and they were aiming. I remember them reading something they wrote about. They're aiming for more of a friendly co-op, not co-op, friendly competitive. Instead of focused on like the esports scene, they want people to be able to like just connect and have fun.
Like, oh, dude, how'd you make that mech? Oh, I did this, that, and the other. Oh, cool. I didn't think about that.
Meanwhile, killing each other.
Exactly.
So you know, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this it looks fantastic. I'd put some stuff on screen, but I don't have a way to do that right now.
We will find a way. BadGaming.com stats.
But
game.
there's more stuff I'm looking forward to. Like not desperately. Oh, you know, but just like really looking forward to like Detroit. I'm very interested to see how that's going to turn out. I know we'll be talking about that next week because there is a demo dropping tomorrow actually for Detroit Become Human. It's the new Quantic Dream game. It looks great. I mean, they always look great. Their games always look great. Going back to like Indigo Prophecy at the time looked great. And then you've got like in June Vampires coming out, which I've been dying to play.
Is it? I haven't seen much on it though.
Well, the big deal is like every NPC in that game has just like a full backstory. Every single one in the London streets. Because for one thing, they get away with it because you're at night. Obviously, you're not going to go walk around in the daytime. So, like, you say you kill someone, you're drinking their blood, you get their final thoughts, and the world actually, like the world actually evolves around this person's dead now, and you know it helps that you're like running the hospital, obviously. So, because you're a doctor,
Nombre Padre, Spanish Espírito Santo.
Yeah, basically that. It's like who's missing? Oh, just pushing behind.
What are you talking about?
Just don't eat all the nurses, you know.
Right. Hello, nurse.
But
man, I just had a freaking Animaniacs reference in this freaking podcast. BadGamingDotCom.
And the Warner sister dot. But
Ah, that's
no,
me.
it's I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dragon Quest XI is making its way west this September. That's a big fucking deal.
When did 10 come out?
10 was an online only MMO in Japan.
Oh,
I want to say for the Wii or the Wii U, maybe both. But so we didn't get it at all. And our 9 was on DS. So
I remember that one.
So that was a little upsetting. But that's a big deal. Shadow of the Tomb Raider also comes out in September. There's more stuff, but the big thing that I'm looking forward to is E3. It's in June. I mean,
Oh man, you forgot.
what did I forget?
Last of Us 2.
The Last of Us 2. Yes, I keep forgetting that game exists because I'm not looking at stuff about it.
I refuse.
I just want a release date. I did watch that video that was brutal as shit. A lot of people had a shit fit over it. I'll see if I can find a link and post it on one of the social media pages at some point for one of the reveal trailers of actual like in-game footage. But it's I mean because it was a lot of people said it was unnecessarily brutal.
Wow.
That's the world. That's the world.
Yeah, exactly.
The last six place said, I don't think anybody watching that had that complaint played that fucking game.
They just heard like hearsay, like, oh, this game had cool stuff.
It is a nasty, harsh place. Thank The Road, the Cormac McCarthy novel, or the movie with Viggo Mortensen. With fungus zombies. So.
I was gonna go
fungus
more
zombies and cannibals.
Thunderdome.
Right.
Yeah. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
So yeah, obviously that's the big one. Days Gone, whenever that finally comes out, looks really cool. But
yeah,
I mean, are you looking forward to anything soon? Because other than like Disgaea, which I'm frankly fascinated, they're releasing a complete version of that on PS4. I mean,
wait, what?
You said Disgaea earlier, didn't you?
Yes, as is.
Yeah, they're releasing Disgaea 1 15th anniversary edition on PS4. Like, I want to say next month.
I literally bought that game on Steam. I pre-ordered that game on Steam when it was announced, and I also pre-ordered Disgaea 2, and I've yet to play Disgaea 2 to my regret.
No, man, that's. I mean, it was such a niche title when it first came out that oh my god, I'm really surprised that the fan base is still here, and I mean they should be. They're fantastic games.
Yes.
Like there's nothing wrong with them. It's just enough people don't play something. It's kind of hard to get releases in America. But
right.
I'm so fucking glad that one is. I don't know how much time I'll actually get to spend on it though. That's the problem with games.
I'll make it up for you. I'll make it up.
There we go.
But like my whole thing is like Disgaea. My sister, of all people, got the game and played it on, what was it, PlayStation 2?
PlayStation 2,
yeah. So she played on PlayStation 2, and I was like, okay, cool, what is this? And like the little printies, which people haven't played the game, it's penguins.
Dude.
That go, dude, and it's DOOD. And I've literally taken that, and anyone who knows me, that's how I spell dude. And like, it's just that has influenced me so much. I actually found them on, for those of you who remember, old kids, Newgrounds.com had a game that was Java scripts, if anyone remembers those, that called Punk-O-Matic. And there was a cutscene with the Punk-O-Matic guy and 3 printies, and they just kept saying dude over and over again. And I was
Let's not forget the pretties had their own game too.
Yes, they did, absolutely.
Like I want to be the hero.
I want to be the hero.
Yeah.
And the dude had like a giant like shinobi scarf.
And like you left out the most important feature. They explode. They're exploding penguins that say "dude." I mean,
dude. Oh god.
There is nothing not to love about that.
Like, if I could and not get sued, they would be our mascot.
Right.
Like, they're adorable. But yeah, that's definitely like, oh, those games are so good. What else is there? Only thing I can think of really is let me see. That's really it for that right now. Yeah,
The announcements haven't come. It's a
like
slow
it's a
point of the year.
See, April's always a slow month for video games. Like it's been that way since like the early 2000s. It's
Well,
just
it's because E3 is always was always traditionally in the summer. You know, you've got your May and your June happen. So when are they? Why would they announce anything before that? You know.
right, exactly. And it's like why would they release anything like right then? Like boom, like this is going to be released in April when like the hype isn't there yet.
Mm. Neither of us mentioned the new Smash Brothers,
Oh.
which we know exists now. We don't know when it's coming.
I'm
We
a
don't know
little
if it's necessarily a new game. We just know
now for those of
it's
y'all
Smash
listening.
Brothers.
I am personally upset that the entire BadGaming.com community was not as excited to hear about this as I was. I am horrifically excited that Super Smash Bros. Has another title coming out. I don't care so much for the Inklings. I actually haven't played any of those games, which I feel like I need to play a Splatoon game at some point. But like,
Right.
it's like I'm super excited. Everyone's like, I'll play it. And I'm like, screw you. This is my childhood. Let's go.
Like I'm actually looking forward to it, but I can't deny that was my response.
That was you and everyone else in that Discord.
Basically, it's like, oh, I bought a Switch. I like the Switch, so I'm gonna get the games for it. I guess we could play it.
I guess we can play it. For the record, Mario Kart, our Den Mother Nay talked some shit and got demolished. For the record, back to the podcast.
Oh well, Mario Kart is fantastic too.
It's a lot of fun.
God.
It's a lot of fun.
I've got to get some of my tech reworked so we could actually stream that shit online because that is a fantastic game, multiplayer.
So that is one of the things we're looking forward to is better technologies.
Right. Better tech, upgraded gear.
BadGaming.com. But I think we're on this subject enough. Do you think? Pretty good.
Yeah, there's not that much we can talk about
because there's nothing been released. Exactly. There's no
right.
Like, what do we talk about? Stuff that hasn't been like theories. Man, that dot hack game. I'm still holding out.
If we were doing that, we'd just have to bust out game facts like every fucking JRPG rumor here for hours.
Ever. Legend Dragoon 2?
Man, that ain't happening.
I know, sadly. But moving on, we are actually going to talk about one of our community members' specialties, top scary games. We have Mr. Lecker, RG Lecker. He is a streamer with BadGaming.com. He's very good at scary games because he's very bad at them.
Yeah.
like
it's because he's very scared.
He gets
and it shows.
Yeah, it's not like I feel like if you're streaming a scary game, you need to get scared about you. Oh, that's a jump scare. Like that's not fun to watch. And if you're like, oh my god, I'll be right back. Like that's hilarious to watch, and it's good for entertainment. So of course, like we're gonna do shout out to him, RG Lecker. Obviously, follow him, likes, Twitter, subscribe, whatever. We some of the top scary games that I have. This is actually where me and John differ. As far as scary games go, because I love not being able to defend yourself in scary games. I feel like that adds to like the terror of like I can't do anything but hide and hope this big monster doesn't find me. So like obviously my top.
1 second. I don't hate to interrupt. I hate to interrupt the talk.
No, you're
this
good.
Is exactly what I was talking about. If you look at the screen below me.
Oh yeah.
This is the arrival of the World Serpent. Just look at the fucking scale on this thing. He's massive. Now, you give it in Norse mythology, he's so big that he's literally wrapped around the world, chewing on the end of his tail.
Yeah,
and
he's massive.
Once he lands back down, you'll actually see. I mean, you just keep looking; it's fine. I just wanted to point that out. We were there at that point, but yes, Jimmy likes Amnesia. Well, I say Amnesia, Outlast, and that sort of thing.
Yes, so Outlast, Dead Space 1 and 2, great horror games. Resident Evil 1 for me, just as a kid, everyone, like the older people who are watching this, obviously, like, just from playing that game as a child, you're just like, oh my god, I'm scared, terrified. One of our fans, God, he has so many usernames. Too Freaking Awesome. is his username on Xbox. So obviously, like, a million people need to add him. His favorite franchise is Resident Evil. Like, he pretty much speedruns Resident Evil 4. But like Resident Evil, the first one, Resident Evil 7 is actually terrifying just because like the graphics are amazing, everything's good on that. You are green for some reason. Like it's like you're always getting the ambiance of it. Like, you are ready, you are not prepared. But like it's just it's so much fun. And I'm glad John mentioned this one earlier when we were talking about it briefly off podcast. Was Fatal Frame series. For those of you who don't know what Fatal Frame is, watch a video of it. Like, it's on the PlayStation Network for the PlayStation 3. If you still have a PlayStation 3, it's $9. What, for 3 of them? All 3?
No, $9.99 each for Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3. 4, unfortunately, was only released in Japan in Japanese. There are ways to play it in English that we're not going to advertise here, but just do your research.
Exactly.
You can play it. But it's basically he kind of branched out into where I was going. Like, I don't like games like Amnesia. A lot of the frictional stuff, with the exception of Soma, which I still say would have been a better story and game without the other creatures, because they're just in the way.
Right.
Like, there's some jump scare value to them, but not much, and they're cheap jump scares. But Soma's a great experience. But no, I'm not saying that what frictional makes are bad games. Anyway, they're not bad games. They're not for me. The running and hiding and that being all you can do, a little bit of that is great. Like, there's some stuff in the Evil Within 2 that's like that. You have to run and hide from it. But that, if anything, that gives you like more gravity to it. It's like, I can kill this other shit. I have to run here. This is a big deal.
Evil Within 2, brutal game.
Well, I mean, it's what?
Evil Within 2, brutal game.
It is. It's not as much of a horror game as you led to believe, especially after you played the first one. Those games are sci-fi. They qualify for sci-fi, but they have that survival horror aesthetic. And survival horror in general is kind of where I lie on horror games. That's where I like to hang out, because one of the first games to really scare the hell out of me, which I was a wee thing. I was like 9, I think, maybe 10. I got a PlayStation when that came out, PS1, big old flat gray box. And I got a copy of Alone in the Dark, One-Eyed Jack's Revenge, which I
have never played.
I mean, I believe it is a sequel to. I believe it's the sequel to Alone in the Dark 2, but just renamed and reformatted for the PlayStation. I could be wrong, but this is years ago. But I mean, it's think Resident Evil with cutlasses,
right?
Or Silent Hill with pirates that are like undead or something. It's cool. It's fucking cool. Like, it took forever to get through that game.
About Silent Hill, I am embarrassed.
And don't be, because Silent Hill has been very forgettable for a long time. It's, despite one of the best games, I think that would easily be in a top 10 list of mine, probably forever. Silent Hill 2. That exists. Silent Hill 1 was good. 3 was all right. 2 was fantastic. It's like the pinnacle of psychological horror in video games, I think. Right. Until you get into some of the more modern, like run and hide type games. But that game is it just fucks with you so hard, and then at the end, it's like, these are definitely going to be spoilers, by the way, because
the game's been out for a while.
These games are ancient. It's like, you murdered your fucking wife. She didn't send you this letter. She didn't die 3 years ago. She died 3 days ago. You wrote yourself this letter. That kind of thing. This woman is like all the things you don't like in a woman in your wife's body, but it's not. And so it's there's so many things and so many undertones that fuck with you. It's great though. It's everything about it's great, except for the HD remaster, which was garbage. And they had to change the voices because they didn't have the rights anymore. I think they had to change some music. It was just that was a dumpster fire on a disc. But if you can find a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox and get the best version of it, which would be the Restless Memories. I'll have to look it up later. But the greatest hits versions, essentially. You
Right.
can get
Yeah.
those. You get all the content with it. Well worth hunting down. Especially if you don't just like to be scared, but actually like disturbed, which is what I consider horror most of the time.
I completely agree. But like John, you do enjoy horror games, right?
Yeah, to an extent.
I love horror games. I hate playing them at the time, but I love playing them afterwards. So John actually had an idea, and we're actually we vetoed everyone else's vote. So this is happening. We are going. The month of October is actually going to be Nope-tober, and what did you call it? What was it?
Oh, it's going to be the BadGamingDotCom Nope-tober Screamcast.
Yeah, Screamcast. Like hashtag trademarked, like copywritten. That's not ours. You can't use it. Owe us money now.
Right.
Haha. No, but like, so we're pretty much going to force everyone who is in BadGaming.com. We're going to do a stream, and we can either do a multiple stream where everyone plays the same horror game and see who wimps out first, or like we can all play them solo and just play like through the month of October with horror games and see just like watch all of us get terrified. It's going to be a lot of fun.
This just went full circle because I forgot about fucking Agony. Like I don't know if you've seen anything on this game.
My sister, I think, mentioned it a while back though. Has it been out for like not out for a while, but like
I don't think it's out yet. It's been they've been showing it off for a while, and it's like a first-person game in hell, and you're like a demon trying to escape, or you're like a lost soul trying to escape.
Right.
It is just like dark and satanic as fuck, and it's supposed to. Everything about that is engineered to get under your skin. You know, so that's the whole point of it. Is a lot of people identify with a religious stance, and so with our culture as a whole, games like that with that sort of setting resonate well with the scary bone, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Which is why movies like The Omen and stuff did so well, because even if they're not showing something, the core situation there is like working against your psychological position.
Like I know, like that sounds like we gotta look up more of that a little bit more, so that way, like moving forward, we can be like, yeah, this game's coming out in like 8 years.
No, it's supposed to be soon. I want to say it's this year, so I'm really hoping they get it out before Halloween, because it's that would be a great one for us to just like run against each other on. If it's like who wimps out first, because this game looks fucked.
I completely agree. Sorry, I had to mute myself right there because I have a hardcore mechanical like keyboard, and everyone like I'm barely tapping. Everyone's like, "What is that noise?" So I do apologize on that, but yeah, definitely. October is gonna be Nope-tober for the BadGaming.com community. Come in, have fun, watch us, like get scared with us. I am definitely playing Fatal Frame 1 through 3. I'm going to die. It's going to be great.
If I can get some capture technology running before then, which that might happen. If not, definitely the year. But if I can get some running by then, I will play one of the scariest games from my past, because I've never gone back and finished it. I finished it. It just took a lot of work. And
do you want to mention your what you were talking about earlier when you
That's literally what I'm talking about. I won't go into much detail about that, but basically I used to review games and for a website that's no longer there, and I was reviewing Fatal Frame 2. So this is a grown man playing a horror game. How bad can this be, right? I shrieked like a little fucking girl at least 3 or 4 times in this during this thing, and it's
is that a girl in there? No, I mean yes.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely a girl.
I'm not.
Don't open the door.
I'm not playing Fatal Frame.
These are not tears. That game is horrifying. I mean, it'd be shit like you're walking down a hallway. It's like, all right, I gotta get my camera ready. You got to get this ready. I'm gonna capture this fucking ghost. And you turn around, there's nothing there. Turn around this way, fucking nothing there. Outside, turn back around. The camera pans. There's a fucking ghost right in your face. Maybe some like upside down, broken limb spider bitch crawling at you. And you're like, what the fuck? Trying to like charge up your camera so you can take pictures. And it's just like,
The
Oh my
fucking
God.
runes. Click.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man,
please.
please, if you haven't seen anything of Fatal Frame, please go watch it. It is hilarious.
I guarantee there's a ton of footage on like YouTube and stuff. People playing these games. Probably some reaction videos too, because it's not like they're the scariest games ever made or anything. They're just like superbly crafted.
So off topic
Particularly the first
completely, kind of off topic, not really. BadGamingDotCom. Somehow I pressed a 1 at some point, so it switched over to fighting games. I think that's like my subconscious telling us that that's what we're doing next. So fighting games. Okay, so I suck at fighting games. I've always sucked at fighting games. I hated fighting games until like literally this year. I bought Injustice 2 with my roommate. We went half on it, full thing. We got all the DLCs, everything, season pass, and played through the story, played a little bit online, and I was done because I am terrible at fighting games. John actually got me because I was debating on if I wanted to get Monster Hunter World or Dragon Ball Z Fighters because they came out same day or same week.
Same day.
So yeah, they came out same day. So I ended up getting Monster Hunter World. I just almost had a brain fart right there. I almost said Monster Rancher. That's an old game. But anyways, so
Be sure to put your CD in to get a new monster.
right.
You know?
Dang
Right.
it! I want. Who wants Suezo? This is ridiculous. No, anyways, sorry. So my age there.
Right.
I got Monster Hunter World. A lot of fun. Do enjoy that game. If you haven't gotten it, highly recommend just taking a look at it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Good fun. Like if you have any friends playing it, definitely play with them. But like we got into Dragon Ball Z Fighters. John was talking about it briefly. He's like, yeah, just that and the other. And the more and more I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. So I bought it. And I had a lot of fun with it. Like a lot of fun with it. I was actually learning mechanics. I was at my job like looking like on lunch looking up like combos, how to deflect combos, figured out like when your turn is, etc., like fight techniques and stuff, and like I got really into it. I don't if you can it's right there. I actually bought a fight stick because I got like really into it and it's a lot of fun. John actually bought the exact same fight stick, but his is a little bit better because he's done some tweaking on it. Like it's a lot of fun. I played
This big motherfucker right here.
dude, it's a lot of fun. I really like
I swapped the gate with an octagonal restrictor, so it actually works really well for your quarter turn moves and whatnot. I mean, some purists will call me a bitch for that, but they can kiss my ass.
But like we played that one, and then we started playing Tekken 7 until we had some technical difficulties on the network, which kind of killed the mood for us. But I know we're gonna go back to
Tekken difficulties.
Tekken difficulties. I like that. I didn't even think about that one. Like we played that one a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I know once the new Mortal Kombat. I know they haven't even like announced anything about that. That's a few years out, obviously. But like once they announce that one, I'm gonna get on it because Cryptic's very good at that game. Bullpunk, I believe it's either Bullpunk's good at Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. I can't remember. I think it's Street Fighter because who's the guy on Tekken from Street Fighter?
There was someone on Tekken. Akuma.
Yes, thank you. So he played Akuma,
yeah.
and he was doing like his little combos and whatnot. So I was like, all right, clearly he knows like basic Street Fighter stuff. But I digress. So like, what is your opinion as far as like fighting games go? Like, should you go controller or should you, if you can afford it, obviously don't like go and be like, I'm gonna spend my like rent money on a fight stick. But like, should you get a fight stick?
Well, generally speaking, if you play fighters, yeah, you should have a fight stick at some point.
Right.
I mean, that's definitely going to be one of your goals, especially if you plan on like playing competitively or anything. But that's not to say that these games can't be played on a controller.
Right.
I mean, a lot of them can. In fact, I might be a little bit better at Tekken with the controller than I am with the fight stick.
Right.
But I'm using the fight stick because I bought the damn thing. For something like Guilty Gear or whatever, I definitely prefer a controller. Or definitely prefer the fight stick. Any 2D fighters. This one, the buttons feel a little sensitive, like more sensitive than I'm used to. But I'll get used to that eventually. I'll get used to that eventually.
Well, the difference...
Dragon Ball FighterZ,
Sorry.
I need to try out. But, you know, like my favorite fighting series of all time is Axis and Arc System Works Guilty Gear series. Which, you know, that's the heavy metal / anime fighter. Um, it's so hardcore. You got your instant kill moves, but there's a lot of commands that are just so much easier. Blaze Blue is very similar. In fact, it's what they made when they didn't have the license for Guilty Gear temporarily, which is why it's pretty much exactly the same series
Right.
with different characters. But stuff like that is definitely better with a stick. But if you could do it with a controller, by all means, don't feel intimidated to go get in a fight. Just know that if you're playing someone who's really practiced with a stick with a controller, you're not going to win typically.
Right.
Depending on your character. Everything.
Now, like the one thing I notice a lot is like I have my PS4 in my room. Obviously, there's a bed there. That's where I sleep. It's a bed, my room, and like I noticed like if you have a controller, you can just you can chill back, relax, like play your game, lose a few times, win a few times, this, that, and the other. With a fight stick, and me and you have the same problem, is you have to like position yourself correctly because
right.
your stick is extremely sensitive. So like you're over there playing in like a certain position, and then like you sit upright, your position's completely changed. So your quarter circles might not be quarter circles anymore. They might be like different circles, and you're like, oh crap, what am I doing wrong? Like what did I mess up? But like just it's almost like playing a computer game. Like you have to commit. Like I'm gonna play on the computer. You have to sit in this chair for X amount of hours playing a game, as opposed to like having a controller just relaxing and chilling out and doing whatever you're doing.
Right. I mean, I had this just ghetto setup, like this tall old Ampeg BA 300 hybrid tube bass amp, just like rolled out towel over it to make up for the height difference with the handle, so I could set the stick on it and get it to sit just right, and then still get my ass kicked when someone picks Eddie Gordo. So I mean, it's one of those.
Gordo.
Fuck Eddie Gordo. But
or Bob
is badass accurate punch. But no, I mean that debate is really kind of it's not much of a debate. It's more of a this is what people do. I mean, once you get to that certain level, you invest in the stick, you invest in yourself, so you can go forward. But that's not to say that controllers are irrelevant at all.
Right.
There are still people getting like adapters for the Sega Saturn controller to use on like PC fighters and arcade fighters. Well, because the Sega Saturn has the greatest D-pad of all time. That's pretty much just like an established thing nobody's replicated, and it worked very well for fighters. Virtua Fighter, of course, that's probably why that was taken into account.
Right.
But you have I don't know. There's new stuff coming. This whole thing started. This whole craze with this like wanting to get like you got Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and then I started talking about Tekken with everyone because I bought it. I just never played it. I didn't have anybody to play it with.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're getting excited for Soul Calibur 6, which is coming soonish. I think. I hope they haven't given us an official date. It's this year. I'm pretty sure it's this year. So I want to get back into the 3D fighter scene at least a little bit, just so I can get ready to pick up Mitsurugi again and go ham with some ring outs, ruin everybody's day.
I haven't played Soul Calibur since like 2.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while. A little rusty.
That was the last one I heavily invested time.
Was that the one where you could like that's the one where you could like level up your character, right? And like go like on the missions and stuff?
Well, you get like new weapons, like higher level weapons and stuff as you progressed. But I mean, they started introducing more and more story elements. I never even played 5. 5 had Ezio from Assassin's Creed as a guest character, and then 4 and 5 had the Apprentice from Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and Yoda and Darth Vader were console exclusive until they were released. But you know, this one, fucking Geralt of Rivia is showing up. He's gonna join the Souls fight or the Soul Calibur fighters.
I don't mean to interrupt. Speaking of outrageous, like, what do you call them? Guest appearances.
Yeah.
Cameos per se. In games that I have seen is Did you know that in the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. You could play as Cloud from Final Fantasy VII?
What?
Yeah, like he's a character. So is Ryu.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I haven't played a Smash Brothers game since.
They did like an amiibo thing, and the only reason I know this is because like in the tournament scene, everyone plays Cloud because he's crazy heavy, and he does he does like Mewtwo's damage, but he's like Ganondorf weight, so like it's hard to ring him out or like blow him off the freaking screen.
Right.
And then the only problem with Mewtwo is he does terrible damage, but he's like Kirby light or like
Oh man.
Jigglypuff. So like Clouds over here just like meteor striking people, and it's like, well, this seems ridiculous. Like this is a Super Smash Bros. Game, right? And then like Ryu shows up, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Is this a mod? No, it's in the tournament. What's going on?
Oh god. No, I haven't played it. Like sat down and played a Smash Brothers game since Super Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64. Like
That was with friends. That's where like fights were
yeah,
like decided.
right. My brother bought it. We sat down and played it, and it was like, oh, this is cool. I guess. I didn't really know that was going to blow up into a whole thing. Like I really like the Sony ripoff of it, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale thing. It's a good game. It's a good game.
I've never played it.
Oh man, sleeping in is Dante versus Nathan Drake.
Oh my god.
It's cool. It's really cool, but it's the same type of game. I mean, you're duking it out on arenas. You can fall off and all that. It was a lot of fun. It didn't go anywhere though. I mean, I thought they would bring it forward to like the PS4 or something. They never did.
Dang
Yeah,
it.
I don't know, man. Fighting games aren't going anywhere. I'm looking forward to seeing how that scene is going to shape up. Some it's hard to stay competitive
Right, absolutely.
with genres, especially when there's like everything is big budget, huge. Not most people, maybe most people. I have no way of knowing this, but
I'm assuming.
a lot of people like those pared down experiences. You don't have to have like a multi-million dollar huge open world experience if you can get delivered to your audience. And a lot of fighters still do that. You've got a lot of indie stuff, the Skullgirls type things that people play pretty hardcore too. So that whole scene still has a lot of room.
Right.
It's not oversaturated. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see how Soul Calibur is going to turn out, but I'm not like an expert on fighters by any means.
Well, yeah. But I know you mentioned the bait earlier with Soul Calibur, and I think that's great to tie into our next topic. So let me see if I can do this correctly. Click on this. Boom. Oh my god. So, our next topic is going to be PUBG versus Fortnite. One of our good friends we talked about before earlier on the podcast, Cryptic989, he does a lot of Fortnite streams right now. I think his like 6 of his last 7 streams has been Fortnite. That's because we like once again we've really enjoyed the game. We've been really enjoying the game. Highly enjoyable, highly entertaining, lots of fun. But like John and I have a confession to make. PUBG is the video game that we want to play,
Right.
but but there's so many like problems with it. Thus, the PUBG versus Fortnite, because a lot of people are playing PUBG, a lot of people are playing Fortnite, and the same problem we see coincides to everyone is like PUBG first came out, obviously, like that was first, and then Fortnite came out. And everyone, so of course we played PUBG first. It's like, oh, we're good at this. We're good at this. We got our chicken dinner as a crew. Awesome. We got our second chicken dinner as a crew. We're amazing. And we just kept on playing, playing, and playing. And then like, Fortnite came out. And we're like, okay, well let's try the game. And we all hated it immediately. Everyone's like, this game's shit. We're never playing this again. We're done.
Dumbass dancing.
Yeah, fucking the fuck is this? Fucking build this. This ain't fucking Minecraft. So like we get out of that, and then like one by one, we kept like we played the game either like as a team, as a crew, or just like by ourselves. And we Fortnite started winning us over because it was like it's complicated at first, like absolutely, like there's so much shit. But like once you start playing, you start getting better at it, and then you start winning games. Cryptic99 actually he was like we won a battle royale because he like soloed like 3 people and won like the top, and like he won it for the team. Like everyone else was dead, and like so we just start enjoying the game because you get that you're like, oh man, this game's better. And like I do enjoy the fact that Fortnite's faster in PUBG. However, PUBG is getting out their small map. It's a jungle map, right?
Savage, I think is what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah, yeah,
supposed to
you're
drop
right, you're right.
buys.
Which like my only problem with PUBG is they kind of fell in the same rotation that a lot of like bigger companies get into, where there's a problem, so they, instead of figuring out a correct solution, they take away the problem, in a sense of they take away whatever it's causing to not have fun. So
Right.
my example of this is, for those of you who played PUBG, you understand that that game was flooded with hackers. Like I don't know a single person who played that game and didn't encounter at least one hacker in their time playing that game. And
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like a lot of that was because like a lot of their loot that they had in the game sold for a decent amount of money on Steam, like on the Steam market. Like people were actually buying these in-game clothes for like $10, $20, $50. I know like there's a exclusive like pre-order coat that was going on sale for, at the time, I think the hype for it was like 2,000 real dollars for an in-game clothing accessory. Like that stuff was insane. So of course like hackers were like, go crazy, get as many points, get loot boxes, this, that, and the other. So instead of like, let me backtrack. I'm sorry. So they had that problem, and then they introduced a new game mode, which is, well, it's the same map, but instead of it being anything like super spectacular, it's they introduced rain. So it's the same map with rain, and then they also introduced a same map with fog. And literally 100% of the people who played this game love the rain map, like the rain mode, and hated the fog mode. So their problem was, oh, well, everyone loves rain, everyone hates fog. Let's get rid of both of them. And they had the
Right.
same problem, in my opinion, with the hacker problem. They're like, oh no, we have a bunch of hackers. So instead of taking care of the hackers, they go, oh, well, now in order to open the loot boxes, you have to spend $2.50 on every single key. Like, I think that's bullshit. Like, fix your shit. Don't like just like microtransaction your way into making profits because you can't fix your shit. Personally,
My biggest problem with PUBG is it feels like maybe we all just suck.
maybe we're just bad.
Like maybe we all somehow got worse.
Which
I don't think that's the case though.
BadGaming.com.
Yeah, BadGaming.com,
Yeah.
of course. But BadGaming.com with chicken dinners under our belt. It's not like we haven't done this
Like a boss.
it's it feels like some of the core mechanics of that game are just inconsistent at best. Shooting, for one, like ballistics. Most games they have like a determined like slope or something. It's like feels like this was just all over the fucking place like a wave.
Whee!
It's like I don't know if I'm hitting you or not. I mean, there's some blood. It didn't matter, because I got one shot. But shotguns. I'm pretty sure were nerfed.
Helmets were a joke.
Yeah, helmets were a joke. There's a lot of issues I have with that game, but it's the game I want to like. But the battle royale genre as a whole is pretty good. But it's pretty. Hold on a second. Is pretty great because 1 second. I'll apologize to everybody. Keep talking, Jimmy.
No, you're good. Okay, so what he's pretty much getting at is on the PUBG. One of the problems that we, so let me see what I'm getting at. Okay, I apologize. Let me backtrack. So Fortnite is a battle royale game. It's a great battle royale game. I get lots of fun in that game. PvP amazing, but the thing that is surprisingly fun for me, I want to come home from work and play this game, is the PvE in Fortnite. Like I was 100% against it. Everyone in the community can attest to this, because I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's $30 or $40, whatever it is. I'm not going to spend that money
40.
if it's about to go free at the end of this year. Like I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. And then everyone else is like, well, we're playing it and we're having fun, and I'm like, I want to play with my friends. So I end up buying the game, and there's so much in depth, there's so much to it that the Royale doesn't tell you. It doesn't give it justice per se, because you're in this game and you can craft, you can sandbox. You can build stuff, obviously, which is in the PvP, but you can build a base that you have to defend later against swarms and hordes of what they call husk, which is more or less zombies.
Right.
And like John mentioned this whenever we're off podcast before we started, and it's just like not enough games have it to where like you have that sense of hopelessness and camaraderie where it's like we have to work together to try and survive this, and even then we might not
Right.
survive this.
Well, it's basically it's actually a sign of a very well designed game.
Yes.
You've got there was a moment the other night. We had streamed some as a team. We had streamed some PvE as a team. It wasn't incredibly exciting stuff. Everybody's kind of learning their stuff and whatnot. So I jumped in with Heather Day, which you find her on Twitch and on Twitter and everything. We'll post links to all the social media for everybody again on some of the on the Facebook page and whatnot. But I wish we'd been streaming because we went to defend her base. I'm already under level, and I've got some slightly over leveled weapons, but it's a desperate fight either way. The team is not full. There's 3 of us. We're faced with waves of like 500 each time. Not knowing this going in, this is how bad it's going to be. And it was essentially Thermopylae, except instead of 300, there were 3 of us, but the husks, or Persians in this case, or in that case, were
Good analogy.
They were still full. They still had all their numbers. There were just 3 of us, so we were fucked. I mean, I had a laser LMG, but whatever. They land, the wall is gone immediately. But the wall that, by the way, she spent a good 2 hours building to like patch everything up. We were done in 10 to 15 minutes. But there was that great moment. There's that great moment where we get through the first wave. Is everybody okay? Good. Patch this trap. Good. You got about 30 seconds till the next wave comes. We're getting them down. We're getting the numbers down. There's 500. Kill them all. And we're getting them down 100 at a time. 100 here. It's desperate. I'm blasting every health ability I have. It's a fuck. The defenders are falling, like the NPC defenders that you can post. The walls are falling. Traps are being destroyed. There's a big fucking hole. There's a big fucking hole. So everybody's kind of falling back to the amplifier, which keeps the shield up. And so you're basically stuck in here, just desperately fighting your way out. And there's this immortal moment that's forever going to live in my brain where she says, okay, this one's counting down, so we have to kill them all. And that means it's usually the last wave because that's what happened last time. Okay, we're fighting through. 30 seconds until another wave of 500 is coming. So at this point, we just know. I don't know if anybody said it out loud. I don't remember, but we were fucked. We knew we were fucked. But
You're just
what
like,
did we do?
oh.
Did we quit? Did we leave the match? Hell no. Because the game is so... It's not... There's nothing in its design to stand in the way of you and your friends finding your own fun. It is an organic process that not every game has, especially not these days when you got this big focus on large set piece experiences. This isn't a sandbox per se, but it gives you the tools and the setting to have an experience, a real experience, not just, oh, play a game, get some points, get to the next one, blah, blah, blah. There is a lot of that. It does got a lot of formulaic stuff to it. But it was just like a magical moment where you're literally being swept over by the horde. You can't do anything about it, but fight until you're dead. And we did get destroyed. And that was it. But, while she may have been so salty about the whole experience that the Atlantic didn't have anything on her, I, for one, had a blast with it. Because it was just one of those pop-up moments like, God damn it, I wish this is why I wish I was streaming this. For some reason that game doesn't like when I stream it. Just that one. Just that one.
Like Tekken for our other friends.
Right. And it's a great game. I mean, there are other games like that too. The first game I actually bought on Steam. Like literally bought on Steam. Not bought and had to activate through Steam, like Half-Life and all that. But Killing Floor. It's very similar to that. You have a team, things are getting desperate. It's Storm Shield Defense. That's what it was that we were talking about. You're getting desperate, and you get backed into a corner. There's a hallway. The Zeds are coming, which is what they call all the generic monsters in that game. And it's like, someone seal that fucking door. You can do that because someone turns around and welds it shut. You've got them off your ass for a second, and they're gonna break through. They're gonna break through.
It's gonna happen.
You have time to clear these out, so you can either make a retreat or get ready to make your last stand there. But games like that, when you're ready, you have
committed.
You're ready, you're committed, you have the tools at your disposal, and they keep you on your toes. You're ready to rock and roll. I love that kind of thing. I'm really looking forward to GTFO, which is coming soon. That's
I didn't know that was a game.
Oh yeah, from the Payday 2 devs, actually.
Oh wow. You told me about this.
Yeah, it looked like you're like heisting like alien matter and stuff like that before the swarms of aliens come after you. So you're not shooting cops this time, ladies and gentlemen. But it's no, that looks really cool. I can't wait to actually bust into that. I'll probably get a 4-pack of it for people to stream it. But no,
hold on. We'll go half on that. I guarantee you.
Right. we're gonna play it is the point.
Absolutely.
But it's there's games like that that are just really well designed. There aren't so many of them these days because everybody wants that big focused experience. That's where they're dumping the money on, and those titles are impressive. Like God of War. That's a focused experience.
For the record, since you mentioned God of War, you've been staring at this smog for about 5 minutes.
Really?
On God of War.
Oh, I don't know what the hell was happening there.
You're just like, I'm gonna get this eventually. It looks really pretty.
No, I think I was trying to figure that part out, actually.
Oh. Oh wait, no, you're not even there.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Who knows? It was
Sorry.
Like,
continue.
It's like 2 a.m.
I don't know what I don't. BadGamingDotCom.
Oh man, yeah, BadStreaming.com.
Like, subscribe, Twitter, Instagram, podcast.
I don't know. I think the PvE version of Fortnite is definitely worth anybody checking out. The PvP is great, especially if you're into the battle royale scene. But it's I would rather be playing PUBG if I felt like it worked consistently and it kept up to date. There's some problems with that game that will be fixed. I'm confident they'll be fixed. They're talking about keeping it going for 10 years.
Yeah.
And plus some of our best moments are in that game.
But, my shoes are missing.
But it's
motherfucker
right.
No
that motherfucker shoes. But we'll have clips like that up for everybody eventually.
Absolutely.
This is the kind of thing we're doing now. No, I think we've said enough about Fortnite at this point.
Yeah, we have.
Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No, not for PUBG versus Fortnite. We do have just like a quick rundown. If I can click on this correctly, come on. Yeah. Just games that flew under the radar, in our personal opinion. Like
recently, I'm assuming.
Recently, absolutely. So like for me, for both of us actually, Titanfall 2.
It's not as recent as you think, but I think it was 2 years ago. But it's like there's no reason people shouldn't have been picking that game up.
No, that's a great game.
Yeah, there's no everything about it's fine. It's in fact it's better than fine. It's a very competent, well-crafted multiplayer shooter.
Giant robots.
Yeah, it's giant robots. It's flat out fucking epic, if anything. But just nobody bought it.
Yeah.
They kept putting it on sale desperately within weeks. Nobody could really figure out what was going on. Maybe it's a bad rap from the first one's story actually being the same as its multiplayer, so therefore no one heard anything that was going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you couldn't hear over anybody else anyway. And so it was just I don't know what the story's about. And then all of a sudden, this one has a really good story, and I'm getting feels for a robot.
Yeah.
So
why you have to die?
Right. So it's just that was great, but the multiplayer is fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Wall running, popping off headshots while you're vertical, while you're horizontal on a wall. That shit is awesome, and nobody picked it out. And I mean, I get it. EA released that in Battlefield 1 in the same month.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty came out, of course. Which one was it? Was it Infinite Warfare that year, or
Uh,
was it Black Ops 3? I don't. I think it was Black Ops 3. Was it 2 years ago?
it was Infinite Warfare.
It was. It was
Yeah,
Infinite
it
Warfare.
was Infinite
All right.
Warfare. Because
Okay.
that was if it's 2 years ago, and then this year was World War II.
Right. Wait, no. What came out last year?
Wasn't it Infinite Warfare?
Right. Oh, okay. I've got it backwards right now.
BadGamingDotCom.
Yeah. We're in 2018 now. Yeah.
Because
We got
Black Ops
4
3.
coming.
Oh yeah, 4. Sorry.
We got Black Ops 4 coming this year.
Yeah.
Which I have to reserve all judgment on because I have no idea what to expect there.
Yeah.
Until we see it, which probably we'll see it in June.
Right.
But it's yeah, I don't know, man. I
Like
don't know.
it's a great game. Before you I would say go and buy it right now, but check to see if people are still playing it.
Yeah, probably don't go spend money.
There's like probably 8 people, and they're
Just
probably
know that
really
there's
good.
a Titanfall 3, it might be great.
Yeah, just understand Titanfall 3, you got to buy it. Another one for me, since we're moving on, that is Firewatch. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I had one of my first streams was of that game, and like consistent streams. And I was just like, why is no one buying this game? Like, I understand why people like didn't like it, but I understood why I liked it. Like, I understood the reasoning behind why people didn't like it. I can get behind that. Like, I said, yeah, that makes sense, but I don't see it that way. Once again, just play the game. It's awesome, in my opinion.
It's a walking simulator. That's why.
Fair enough. I like the story.
I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. I bought it. I played through it in one sitting. I enjoyed it.
Right.
But I can see why it didn't have like a mass appeal. The art style was cool. I liked the kind of dark adult story that was there.
Right.
I mean, it is dark, but it's not dark like, oh, grim dark. It's like, this is shit people really deal with in real life. It's just, and it's in the background. And so you take this guy takes this job out as a fire watchman at a national park. And there's a mystery to solve. And you have another character you never meet face to face, but you
don't meet anyone.
Right. You get hit on the head once. Well,
yeah.
Spoilers, but you get hit on the head once from behind. You don't even see the person doing that. It's I mean, it was cool. It was cool. I mean, but if we're talking stuff like that, you start looking at like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. More recently is the Edith Finch game, which I haven't played that yet. But that kind of game. What?
Abyss is making a return.
I don't think I've played that.
It's an old DOS game.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know how many like actually like under the radar experiences I can think of right now, because I played a lot of stuff that was squarely on the fucking radar. Was definitely there.
The one that I didn't hear about that you informed me was good. I didn't hear about it. Was the hype behind the second Mirror Edge game was so real, and then it was released and no one talked about it.
Basically what happened is it sucked
completely.
That's what happened. I mean, it wasn't good. It was mediocre at best. The world was it was a big open world this time. I'm saying this as a massive fan of the original Mirror's Edge. So it's not like I just don't like this game style, or I don't like the way I don't like the aesthetic, the super clean, everything's white and glass.
Right.
I love that. It's like they tried to make it a much bigger experience, but they run into that same open world concept. It's like, well, what's the world full of? Content. Fucking collectibles and bullshit is what it means.
Yay, content.
Or jump a certain way here. You've got this like race, like time trial challenge. So it's not that it's like a terrible game. It's that, but there is a reason it constantly goes on sale for like $5. That was frustrating as hell.
Right. And my last game that I thought flew under the radar is Chroma Squad, which you actually haven't heard of until I mentioned it to you.
Right. And now I want to play it.
Pretty much for everyone who doesn't know, it's a 8-bit simulator. Pretty much you're a group of 4 or 5, I can't remember, people who like want to be Power Rangers who want to make their own movies and like TV series. So you go through the game fighting your way with actors, but you're legitimately fighting them in the game. Like you're fighting them like it's an actual game. And it's like, but you're recording it as it's happening. So you hire better CG effects. You buy or you hire better actors. You hire better villains. You buy like your mech suit for everyone who's watched a single Power Rangers movie or show or episode or anything. And like the giant mech suit starts off as a cardboard freaking cutout, and they're like, we need to upgrade this. This looks like shit. And it's a comedy of friends. Like if they have a trailer out that's actually real live trailer, and it's hilarious. I do recommend looking at it. I think it's like $20 on Steam. Definitely, it's hilarious. Totally worth it. It's an under the radar thing completely because no one really knows about it, but it's still great. I can't say enough about it.
I think realistically, BattleTech fits this criteria.
Yeah, it's underrated.
I
A
haven't
lot of people
really
don't know about
heard
it.
anybody talk about it. There's some other stuff that went kind of underplayed that like Apocalypsis. I haven't actually started it yet.
Right.
But it looks kind of like a point and click adventure based on medieval occult wood cuttings. With let's see, what's his name? Nurgle from Behemoth did a special version of one of their songs for it, and he's like in the game or something too. Which anybody who knows that band knows that that's exciting news for the kind of game you might be looking for. Another one was the last day of June, I believe it was what it was called. Let's see, yeah, it was last day of June. That is a little, it's touching. It's a really good game. I don't want to spoil that one. Any progressive rock fans out there who know Steven Wilson, which of course if you are, you do. Drive Home as a video game. So
Nice.
Which is literally based on that song. And so it's heartbreaking, but it's great. It's pretty. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like to like look at, point at, because it's just, the big games, everybody knows them.
Right.
And a lot of stuff goes underrated for a reason, or under the radar for a reason. Some of the stuff doesn't though. It's just other than they didn't have the money to really market it the way they would like to. And that's one of them. That's one I would love to see more people talk about. Is that kind of approach to game design. I mean, it's a pretty canned experience, and you're not going to get anything groundbreaking out of it. But,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much for this topic right now. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll think of something another
it's
day.
more. Yeah, I got you saying. It's kind of like one of those things where it's just like this is completely not factual. It's opinionated.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
Rather than objective.
That word. Yeah, that word too.
Yes. There you go.
But so we are about to go to our last topic, which is boom, the outro. And so
yeah.
So guys, thank y'all so much for coming with us. We've had a lot of fun today just talking for an hour and a half. Shout out to that.
Man.
Right? Just time
that
flies.
That was a lot easier than it sounded like it was, or felt like it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like 10 minutes. All right, we're done. So pretty much what this is going to be, it's going to be us doing shout outs to all of our friends, obviously, for our first stream, our first podcast, to apologize. And then kind of like outro is going to be like what we're going to do on the next podcast, which for the most part, obviously, like certain circumstances happen, might be a different day, but we plan on doing these
like Sunday afternoons.
Yes,
now,
Sunday afternoons, pretty consistently. Obviously, if stuff happens, we have to change it, and we'll inform you on social media, of course, which we're going to post after this in the Twitch chat channel, as well as like we're going to post them like different stuff on our social media. So like I have a Twitter, John has a Twitter and a Facebook. Like we have social medias, obviously, like we make fun of our den mother, Nay. She has a lot of stuff. Shout out to her. She post everything we do on like social media on different channels and everything, trying to get our name out there, trying to build our community, get us bigger. So moving forward, we can like have bigger communities, have more events, because we have a lot of events planned. We just got to get more people into the community to do them.
Let's see. Did you plug the Facebook page yet?
I have not yet. No.
Okay. That's where a lot of our news is going to come first. That and the Twitter, those two accounts, and
so
then everybody else will kind of spring forward from there.
Right, but what is the Facebook channel?
Oh, facebook.com/BadGamingDotCom, all spelled out, one word. No, yeah, one word URLs.
Yes.
Right. Twitter, it's @bad. You actually set that up, so I don't actually know what the thing is.
Twitter should be @BadGaming.com.
Right.
It's cut and dry.
Yeah.
Good to go. We also have a website.
Right.
Which it escapes me right now what
death-before-dishonor.com.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. There'll be a BGDC tab. You'll see player cards. Eventually, we're going to update that with things like our individual stream schedules, what we're up to, maybe Twitter feeds for individual users, things like that. We're going to get that up and running right now. But as of right now, it's essentially, or as of this moment, it's essentially the website for the clan that we play in, which is what the Death Before Dishonor Presents is.
Yep.
And BadGaming.com is really the name of our stream team, dream team.
Stream team, dream team.
However you want to say it. It's that's where that is right now. But you can check latest info there. Pretty much every Twitter feed with our hashtag in it is going to go on that front page. But yeah, the Facebook. On Facebook, I will go ahead and post all the social media links for individuals from different platforms as well. We'll link to that through the Twitter, so you can see them there as well. Is there anything else you want to cover besides
more or less
what we're talking about next week?
Yeah, I'm good to go. As far as that goes, I believe we're going to stream again tonight. I'm definitely going to stream some more tonight because I'm going to stay up and play BattleTech.
Right.
Yeah, at midnight.
Right.
So hopefully sooner. But yeah, we're going to stream. I know we're going to play Fortnite as well with some of our friends. That'll
definitely come up.
Absolutely. Did you put your? Well, it doesn't matter. We're about to end. So we are. I'm losing my train of thought here.
Actually, looks like we won't be playing BattleTech till noon tomorrow.
No.
Does it unlock for another 18 hours?
That sucks. But we're playing Fortnite tonight, guys. So Fortnite Hard Night. Ha. I still can't get over that stream team, dream team. That's so good. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. So pretty much, last thing we're going to do in the outro is going to talk about what we're going to do on episode 2. So pretty much it's going to be more of the same. I say pretty much like 8 times. So for video games that we cover in this stream that we haven't been able to play yet, example is BattleTech, we will be going over a review of them, how our opinions, if they change at all, like what do we like, like if anything happens, we're going to do a topic on that in that situation. So like
general impressions, what we've actually played.
Exactly. Like we're gonna.
It's something else. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off.
No, you're fine. By all means.
I was all over that next announcement. The demo for Quantic Dreams Detroit Become Human launches on PlayStation 4 tomorrow. The game comes out next month, but I am going to be talking about my impressions of the demo, and if you play it, I assume you will at some point, just because it's awesome. I kind of want to go over how that is looking, how that's shaping up, because this is. I'm really excited about this game. I shouldn't be. There's a few reasons I shouldn't be, because next week I'm also going to talk about Quantic Dream and Age and essentially how the basic gist of their games and what they've done so far.
Right.
With games like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, Indigo Prophecy, obviously, Omicron, the Nomad Soul, things like that.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to follow along and know what exactly the hell I'm talking about, check out that demo tomorrow. And if it sucks, it sucks. We can all bitch about it together.
Exactly. Now,
but if it's great,
Yeah, if it's great, we're gonna rock out. So, something else is we might, depending on moving forward, like if we have a special guest that we have planned for the next podcast, we're obviously gonna tell you about it. We might have one or two people join us next podcast. We're not 100% sure yet. We just got to figure out, like, touch base with everyone, see what they're doing, see what their time schedules are, so we can move on
Right.
from there. If not, definitely me and John will be here again
Yeah.
to deal with y'all. Y'all can deal with us. We can deal with each other together because we're the stream team, dream team. I'm so going to use that way too much. Um, like
You're gonna
just
break it.
I am. I'm breaking it because there's stats in this game. Hey, speaking of which, my highlight. But yeah, so that is everyone. Let me see. We can do shout outs real fast. So first off, shout outs to Cryptic, Bullpunk, the Nazer, Nay, RG Lecker, tons of fun. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. Um, Personal shout out to Justified153. I believe he's listening in right now. Huge friend of mine. I appreciate him coming out to the stream or to the podcast. I apologize. Genovac, she's amazing. Love her to death. She's great. She supported me through a lot of bullshit that I've had in my past. Queen's Mr. J, you'll see him a lot. He might join BadGamingDotCom. I don't know. He doesn't really play
To
games
be
that
fair,
much.
he kind of defines it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not
100%.
here.
He's not here, but he's the essence of BadGaming.com. But you want to do any shout outs?
You pretty much covered them. Did we miss anyone other than ourselves?
I'm Jimmy Knott. Shout outs to that guy. This is Death Frenzy. Shout outs to Death Frenzy.
Yeah, you can call me John.
The Lorax. Did we miss anyone?
I'm gonna feel really shitty if we did, but not really, but kinda.
We didn't. Let me just let me see here at this little Twitch chat. BadGaming.com, by the way, guys. No, only person I can think of. Oh, you just got huge.
Oh, thank you.
Here we go. No, I'm sorry. No bread, no soda. Let's go.
Yeah, no bread, no soda. Let's do this shit.
But only other person I can think of. I mentioned him earlier in the stream. Too freaking awesome. He knows who he is. He has a million different usernames. That's the only one I remember the most of. He's good friend, hilarious. Doesn't really play games that much anymore because he has a lot of like adult responsibilities. Who has time for those? Right?
We don't though.
All we do is play the video games because nothing's more attractive than like borderline like 30-year-old people talking about video games, right?
Right.
Exactly. But once again, guys, thank y'all so much for coming out. I'm Jimmy Knott.
I'm John.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Yep.